like, you paid what, $600 to go to California from here? I'm from California, didn't pay not a dime. Not a dime.
We will explain to you why some young Americans are willing to throw away the only life they have ever known for adventure and a life on the railroad.
There's something, I guess, the lure of adventurism, the uncertainty. You hop a train, you don't know where that car is going.
If you ask yourself what could drive someone to such lengths, it becomes clear that the stories you encounter are not that far from home.
I ain't gonna speak for everybody, but most of us have like family situations that led us into this type of lifestyle. Most of us.
Yeah.
90% of us.
Yeah, a lot of us.
What kind of just things at home, just kind of stuff with parents, broken homes, stuff like that?
From abuse to just differences, honestly. Like, some people were abused, and some people just had such huge differences that they felt like the only way out was either death or it all.
I like my freedom. Young age, I just had, I don't know, I got wild hair. I like to move a lot. So I just started traveling at a young age, and I just got to enjoying it.
What's great about riding on a freight train, dude? Not the boredom, unless you're with cool kids, but the view.
Yeah,
The view of the train,
the scenery.
Gliding over the land, and just the scenery.
Like,
The
states,
sunset and the sunrise.
yeah, the interstates, you see so much scenery from that, but riding on trains, it takes you in no man's land, where nobody is supposed to be, and you see so much more beautiful wildlife and so much more scenic mountains and fields and everything else. That's one of the main things that keeps driving me to ride trains.
And to me, it's like fighting the system. I mean, I also do it to eat because I can't get a job being as a felon with no ID. It's hard. Every once in a while, you might catch somebody and want to pay you on their table, do a little job here and there for $40, $50. But otherwise, I fly a sign 24/7.
But beyond the broader ideals of peaceful protest, one of our travelers, as they like to be called, opened up into his own decision to leave home for a life on the rails.
I got kicked out of my parents' house, and I went to Texas with this chick I was supposed to be getting engaged to that I was supposed to have my child. Long story short, she ended up intentionally miscarrying my child and taking everything from me and left me homeless on the streets. So I went around trying to get back on my feet, and nobody wanted to hire me because I was homeless and I was dirty. So I ran in, I was hitchhiking all the way back. I made it from Pecos, Texas, all the way to Little Rock, Arkansas, which is an hour south of where I live. And then these two wanted to go back to Texarkana. So I helped them get down to Texarkana, and then I ran into some train riders, traveling kids, and they said that they were hopping a train, and I never hopped a train before. So I was like, can I tag along? And they're like, yeah. So I went from Texarkana, Texas, Arkansas border to Shreveport, Louisiana on my first train.
Despite all the ups and downs of this lifestyle, it is still an illegal activity with serious consequences. A lot has changed since the peak of train hopping during the Great Depression.
Oh, it's clearly illegal because you're trespassing. Oh, there's no question it's illegal because you're trespassing. And as I say, the railroads have a much more incentive to enforce this today than they would have said, say, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 50 years ago, for two reasons. The concern of terrorism, and we've become much more litigious in the sense of litigation. So the railroads are very, very defensive with respect to litigation, as they should be.
It becomes clear that these travelers are very aware of the illegality of their actions and what ramifications they may carry.
They hire new bulls or rail cops. That's our lingo for them, or the bulls. They hire new bulls, and most of them are feds, federal police. So that way, even if they see you in the train yard, they can pursue you outside the train yard and still arrest you. Because most city bulls, if they catch you on a train, they'll ticket you or take you to jail, or they'll release you and don't do it again. The federal bulls, if they see you on a train, they have abundant jurisdiction. You can be 3 counties away.
And they could go after you.
Yeah, and they could find you and be like, you were on my train, and arrest you.
You're going to jail.
Yeah.
And you do 85% of federal time.
Yeah.
usually. So even if you're only going for 3 days, like, which is, I doubt it's most like more longer than that. but
Most
you're
of the
going for
times they
most of that.
you, they RR you, release you on your own recognizance because they know that you're going to be leaving town anyways. So it just becomes a warrant, like a little petty warrant, and they know that you're not going to pay it, or they know we're not going to pay it because like if we're out flying a sign and stuff, trying to make money to eat, and like some cops are write you a ticket, and you're like, I'm out here flying a sign trying to get me food, and you give me a $177 ticket. How do you expect me to pay this?
I mean, I've gone like 3-4 days without eating while I'm traveling.
Did you ever have to dumpster dive?
Nah, I ain't. I'll fly a sign or I'll ask somebody to go get me some food before I dumpster dive.
The worst, like the lowest part of traveling is like dumpster diving, like digging through the trash for
It's
food.
not even that bad.
But it really ain't that bad because some gas stations or McDonald's and stuff, like they throw away hot food that is messed up because the customers didn't want it. So you go and dig it out and you're like, hey, this is still hot. I'm gonna eat this.
What about, you know, some of the train hoppers that travel with dogs and stuff? Do you know anything about that? Or like...
I mean, most of them like dogs, but like if you're under a bridge or something for a night, it's good protection because they'll bark, let you know somebody rolling up on you, whatever. So that's why you see a lot of train hoppers that are like going by themselves. They always carry a dog with them.
When I see people that are like, my dog eats better than me, and their dog's like skin and bones, that puts bad on me. Like, because like you see one skinny up dog, you think they're all up, and they're not. Like, dogs are taken care of. That's your brother.
Yeah.
Most people are like,
It's like
oh,
your
your
child.
dog deserves a better life. It's like your dog, you go to work and you leave your dog in your backyard. My dog is here always. I don't give a like how happy you love your dog. My dog lives a better life.
We talked about this being really from the 1930s and actually starting before that. But realistically, always when I grew up on the railroad tracks north of Richmond on the RF&P, you would always see people just their feet hanging out, just looking out the side on open box cars and in gondolas. So this has always been with us.
I mean, like I said, it's just like a freedom. You're free to go wherever you want, whenever you want to.